Okay, I just read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Some highlights that I've come out of it with are that diversity is not encouraged amongst groups. It's good to seek a power group. That's not exactly what he called it, but you get people together. It could be two, it could be 100. You get people together who are like-minded with you, and just discuss topics, things that are of interest, things that maybe could help you improve yourself. It's like a power minds group, a mind like masterminds. Keep a strong mastermind group, and nowhere in there does he say you need diversity in it. Diversity is something that's taught in the colleges, and strongly enforced by law. And the reason is they have to do that by law, because it's definitely not encouraged in this book. It's keep the group that's going to be most beneficial to you. So that's something. Also along those lines, like sexism, women in the workplace. He doesn't really talk about that. This was written in 1960. He talks about mostly men trying to get ahead. And I mean, I don't really see anything wrong with his viewpoints on that. There's still some cultures out there that maintain the male as a central figure in the workplace, and a lot of them are doing fine. I mean, America didn't start in its decline until the 70s. This guy is writing during a very successful upswing. He wrote this in 1960, even before the moon landing and stuff. America was really on the up. Okay, so he talks about specializing. I wrote a bunch of notes here. He talks about specializing in business. Now there's downsides to that. You specialize too much, say computer programming with I don't know, Python, and then Python gets replaced by a new language. Well, your specialization is worthless now. So you want to be a little diverse, but once again, he says, being a jack of all trades, you're no good at anything, type of thing. I can't read my own writing. Work with, okay, yeah. So work with, not for. Now, you want to always look at the guy you're working for. If you do work for somebody, as your partner, not just your employer. There's somebody who you ask yourself, how can we make money? How can I make you more money? Not how many hours can I put in, or whatever. It's you're trying to improve their business, and that's the mindset you need to be in. Not how much can I get out of this employer type of thing. And he gave an example with Thomas Edison, who he admires. Actually, Napoleon Hill talked to Andrew Carnegie before Andrew Carnegie passed in 1919, and Andrew Carnegie planted this seed for this book pretty much sometime before 1919, and he got to writing it in 1960. So this is it's been a long time coming from Andrew Carnegie's own teachings. And I read Andrew Carnegie's biography, and it's very interesting. He did have a different viewpoint on things. I can't read that. Gold mines from thoughts more than grounds. Yeah, you can mine the gold from your minds. You think it up, you think the idea, and then you go and plan action. Action speaks louder, but still, you have to have that thought first. So it's about getting good ideas. Before giving up, seek an expert. So you want to have, that's part of the mastermind group. You want to get that that help. Faith is an antidote, not to failure. Yeah, don't give up, type of thing. It's about finding different ways, getting a different opinion. Starting point. Faith is a starting point. Yeah, just you want to visualize making money. Faith is the elements when mixed with prayer. You want to, prayer, blind prayer is not helpful. Just praying on something isn't going to get you your money. There's emotional words people we mostly think in emotion. So it's something to appeal to. You appeal to people's senses. Logic isn't really used as much in common human tendencies. Now, I'm unable to read these backwards. They're showing up backwards. I wrote a lot of notes because this is one of the few books where it was one idea after another. You want to, like a lot of people have said, constantly write. Just write about things. Get your ideas out there. Just keep them free-flowing. Ideas can be sold where merchandise cannot. So that's an interesting idea. If you don't have anything to sell physically, you can still plant ideas in people's minds. Concentrate on what you can give, not what you can't. I was surprised how the gas meter readers had an approach where they were more aggressive about getting the readings from maybe inside the homes, and they turned to and they got a lot of people who were not letting them in because the gas meter readers were being too aggressive and angry and mean. So the gas meter readers changed their approach to being nicer, and they were able to get in houses easier. And that's how it works with door-to-door salesmen too. You don't try to force the product on a person. You got to be nice, and then that'll help them become friendlier to you and all that. Yeah, some leaders can fail, and there's reasons for that. You don't get paid for what you know. You get paid for what you do. So you want to take that approach. Learning about everything doesn't really help you make money. You have to know how to use that information to make money. Back in the revolutionary times, people resented the British for intimidating them, and so they rose up against them. If the British would have been a little nicer and not so intimidating, then the people wouldn't have fought back so hard against them. And that's kind of happening now, even with all the funds that the police have. Cops have to learn that they have to take a nicer approach. The brain is like a battery. You plug in you have several batteries that work at once, and you'll have more power. A group of batteries can work stronger than just one single individual battery. And this guy wrote before the internet, so he wasn't aware of the type of information we can get. And it clearly shows when he says, your resources are the library and other people. The 10 stimuli of the minds. I made a little video of that. Money is shy and elusive. I never really thought of it that way before, but it's not easy to get, that's for sure. It must be wooed. See what he says. So this stuff, if you type this into the internet, it'll come up with the whole book. Somebody just typed in the whole book, and you can type in any passage from it and it'll come up. Poverty and riches often change places. So, like with me, I'm very poor right now. I wasn't rich, but I had a little bit more money for a time, but I was a fool with it and lost it all. Positive and negative emotion. Is that what I said? 202. No. There's you can only have one at one time. You can only be positive at one time or negative at one time. You can't be positive and negative at the same time. You go in either or either one direction. That's just happy. You can only be happy, or you can be sad. You can't be both. It's just emotion. It's like one emotion works at a time. There's a ladder of success, and it's supposed to be lonely at the top. We've probably heard that many times before. Not everybody can make it to the top. Always have like your role models, people you look up to. You can read about them or whatever. Just imagine them being in the room with you. He did that, and he went through a little description of how he talked about Henry Ford and Benjamin Franklin, heroes in his time in 1960. He just imagined them being his counsel and having Abraham Lincoln having counsel with him and saying, okay, what would you do in this situation, Mr. Abraham Lincoln? You know, if you're having difficulty selling your widgets. Here's some more. We all have fears, and that's so true. Uncertainties, that's been dominating our lives, and a lot of people hold themselves back by their fear. They're afraid to make decisions because of it. Everybody has fear. All right, I have a fear, and that's at times hurting me. You just have to work with your fear. Get to understand your fear. All right, know your fear, learn about it as much as you can, and that can help you overcome it. Prayer doesn't work. You really want to learn about your fears and overcome them. And then also, like, I have family members who are very negative. It seems like the majority of my family members are all negative. So you gotta cut them out of your mind. You gotta block them off. Just last night I was listening to you Now guy. He's a rapper dude, talking about how you gotta block out the negative people who are like giving you bad vibes, so that you can continue with what you're doing. Men have been burnt at the stake. It says it at 2:30, and that's the fear. It's like you have a differing opinion. Well, people in the past have been burnt at the stake for their different opinions. So of course you're going to be scared of that. It does take some bravery to overcome and power through your fears. The self-analysis questions are interesting. They could probably be found on the internet too. You want to ask yourself all those questions. Personal magnetism is a lot about sex energy. Okay, that's one thing that guys have over women in the business place and stuff. Guys have sex energy. It's testosterone, which really drives it, and that's if you don't have that desire, you know, it's amazing that the desire for sex really influences people. I felt that I've had my highs and lows with my sexual energy. A lot of it has to do with how much I'm exercising, the types of food I eat. But I could feel that increase in just wanting and stuff. I may not have channeled my sex energy as as good as, well, I'm clearly not channeling my sex energy in a way that's successful like a lot of people. I kind of let it go to waste, but that's what really drives the need to succeed. You got fear, you got sex energy. Those two are really strong. The faith, love, and sex. Yeah, all kids hate crime at first, so there's gonna be that first reaction. Every kid is, before they've become a criminal, have hated crime, but a lot of them get used to it. It takes falling in with the wrong crowds. Okay, they resist at first, but if you stay in the wrong crowd long enough, it'll influence you, and you have to have to get out of that, to get away from it. You have to have willpower. And in Chinese face reading, willpower is found in the chin. All right, if somebody has no chin, they don't have a lot of willpower. So yeah, you could try to will it with your mind, but I think with Chinese face reading, it's also built in. If you're able to grow a beard, you're able to expand your willpower. A big beard can mean stronger willpower, and that's something that women are not able to do. Well, some women can grow a beard, but there's a lot of these ideas come from needing to have the willpower too. But times have changed. Let's see, what's QQS formula on 118? QQS formula. Let's see if I can read that. Yeah, it's all backwards on my screen. Which means the quality plus quantity plus the proper spirit of cooperation. Perfect salesman. I thought he was originally focusing on insurance salesman, but and he kind of is, but it's not completely. It's also just letting you know how you think. It's a bit of a psychological evaluation, and even in 1960, we were pretty advanced. By 1960, I mean, within a few years of that, we put a man on the moon. I mean, we were pretty advanced. We were advanced by 1900, and the economy was going up. But yeah, school can be a waste of time. You want to take a trade to specialize in something. Transaction benefits all. Yeah, you want to get into transactions that also benefit the person you're selling something to. Not just take their money and give them a crappy product. So you wanna work with people, and it's not easy. Yeah, there's a lot to this book. I'd recommend reading it. There's a lot going on. You can read it online pretty much. It's all there.